Hello to a new story. Tonight, I'll tell you about an unsettling drive I'll never forget. It still makes me shiver just thinking about it. Let's begin. I've always loved driving at night. There's something calming about empty roads and the quiet hum of the engine. But now, I don't drive after dark anymore. Not since last October. It was late, maybe 11:30 p.m., and I was heading back home after visiting a friend in the next town over. It was one of those moonless nights where everything outside the headlights is pitch black. The route I took was mostly back roads, quiet, isolated, and surrounded by woods on either side. I'd driven it dozens of times before and never thought twice about it. That night, the silence felt heavier. The road seemed darker. About 10 minutes in, I saw someone standing at the edge of the road. I slowed down instinctively, my headlights catching him. A man, tall and thin, wearing a dark coat. He wasn't moving, just standing there, staring straight ahead. I remember thinking, what's he doing out here in the middle of nowhere? As I passed, I glanced in the rearview mirror. He hadn't turned to watch me go. He hadn't moved at all. Just kept staring into the trees. I shook it off and kept driving. Another 10 minutes went by, and then I saw him again. Same man, same coat, standing at the edge of the road. My chest tightened. I wasn't lost. There was no way I could have circled back. And yet here he was. This time as I passed, I kept my eyes forward. I didn't want to look at him again. I wanted to see if he'd move. The road stretched on, darker now, and the unease in my chest turned into a heavy weight. Then I saw him a third time. My stomach dropped. He wasn't standing on the side of the road anymore. He was in the middle of it. Slammed on the brakes, getting to a stop just feet away from him. Didn't flinch, didn't move, just stared at me. Hands were shaking. I honked the horn, yelled through the window, but he didn't react. Finally, I swerved around him and sped off, my heart pounding, and stopped until I was back on the highway. The safety of streetlights finally breaking through the darkness. I tried to calm myself, telling myself he was just some guy playing a sick joke. Then I glanced in the rearview mirror, and he was sitting in my back seat. I froze, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. I didn't dare turn around. I could see him clearly in the mirror. His face was pale, almost gray, his eyes sunken and hollow. He leaned forward, his mouth curling into a slow, unnatural smile. And then he whispered, "Almost home." Lights flickered on the highway, and in that split second of darkness, he was gone. I don't know what he was. I don't know what he wanted. But now, every time I drive at night, I check the back seat before I get in. See you tomorrow and follow for more.